Welcome. Kakra continues his stirring series, The Principles of Transformation, with the subtitle, The Transformative Power of Faith. Yesterday, he taught us that faith elevates your vision. Today, he continues. Let's join in.
Romans chapter 4, verse 17. As it's written, I have made thee a father of many nations. When he said, as it is written, he's quoting from Genesis chapter 12. When God called Abraham and said, get thee out of your country and your kindred and your father's house unto a land that I'll show you. So he's quoting from Genesis. Before him, whom he believed, even God, who quickens the dead and calleth those things which be not as though they were. Now, the first thing that faith does is that it elevates your vision. Just like it elevates your vision. Most of the time, when we have a vision, the vision is based on our circumstances. Your salary, your background, your education, your connections, and everything that you have. So, for example, if we were to close tonight, and I were to tell you that you are going to buy, let's say, a brand new BMW at the end of the year, if you take your pay slip and you start calculating what I said, and you relate it to the pay slip, you realize that the only thing you can buy is a motorbike. That's all that you can buy. So, because of your pay slip and your natural circumstances, when you are making a plan for a car, you realize that you can't think beyond the motorbike. Because it's based on your resources. You are not a bad person. But according to your circumstances and your resources, this is the only plan that is possible. So to change that vision and give you an elevated vision, God will have to give you a word higher than your pay slip, higher than your circumstances, higher than your family background. And when he gives you that word, you must be able to believe the word. And when you believe it, you know that your vision will be lifted. It will be elevated. That's what it does. So when you don't have faith in God, you will always have a low vision. Because your plan will always, every plan you have will always be based on your circumstances. That's why Ephesians chapter 3 verse 20, it says, and to him who is able to do exceedingly, abundantly, above all that you ask or even think. You know, when I started writing, the first book I wrote, it was called Squatters. And when I wrote the book, my mind was, this book that I'm writing is for my church members and people in Ghana and people in Nigeria. So when I wrote the book, I took it to a local printing house. So based on my vision, I wrote this book. I printed 2,000 copies, I think so. Then we sold these 2,000 copies. And I felt very good. I said, what a powerful book. Then some years passed, about 3 or 4 years passed. One day, I was in my room praying. Then suddenly, the door opened. And you know who came in? An angel. He said, Kakra, do you know that you are a famous, best-selling author worldwide? I said, me? He said, yes. You are a very famous author. So he told me, that book that you wrote, you must rewrite the book because it is below your level. Then the angel left the room. You see, but all that he did was to tell me God's word. And as soon as he said it, suddenly the way I saw myself changed. My vision was elevated, very high. So I asked myself, what am I going to do to become this best-selling author? What do I do next? Up to that time, I had never read books about publishing or marketing or how the book industry works before, ever. Because it was not, I didn't have such plans. So I went and bought 5 books. on how the book industry works in the world. And I bought 5 marketing books, various books, all about books. Then I began to read these marketing books because I'm supposed to be a famous bestseller writer. Up to this time, all these things had not occurred to me. But because of what the angel said, suddenly I realized that there was the need to build capacity and understand what this whole thing is about. So I read about 5 marketing books, and I studied many books. When I finished, I came to the conclusion that except God helps me, there is no way that you are going to be this famous best-selling author. There is no way out of it. So I asked myself, so what am I going to do now?
Thank you for joining us. Be sure not to miss tomorrow's episode as this powerful teaching continues. Before we go, here's a praise report to boost your faith. God intervened. Dear Kakra, I was promised some money but did not hear from the person after several calls and texts. She eventually called back and said would send it. I wrote to you to pray for God's intervention. To the glory of God, she sent the funds. I am so grateful. God bless you. Thanks for your time. You can contact us, seek counseling, ask for prayer, order today's full-length message, or order books through the following means. Call us or message us on WhatsApp to +233 55 700 9010. Send an email to info@kakrabaden.org. You can also make a regular call or send a text to +233 20 7575 215. Our office hours are 10 a.m. to 1600 hours GMT. Finally, write to us, share your testimony and how this broadcast has been a blessing to you. Are you in need of money? Is there something you want to buy or someone you have to pay? Then this revolutionary book, Cryptocurrency by Kakra Baden, is what you are looking for. It will unlock sources of money you have but don't know you possess. You're just a book away from turning your finances around. Order the book Cryptocurrency, How to Profit from Free Labor through the following means. Place your order on Facebook by posting Order Cryptocurrency in the comment section or message window.